Welcome everyone to the Sports Giant Network, and today in this video, I'm reviewing this past weekend's UFC pay-per-view and previewing the main event for this upcoming weekend. As excuse me, as we just had a pay-per-view UFC 316 from New Jersey, where Merab defended his belt against Sean O'Malley, and Kayla Harrison became the new women's bantamweight champion, and etc. And also this upcoming weekend, the UFC is having a fight night in Atlanta, Georgia, where Kamaru Usman is returning after not fighting since October 2023. The former welterweight champ looks to regain momentum as he takes on the surgeon Joaquin Buckley, who's ranked number 7, who's been on a roll ever since going down to welterweight for middleweight. And I'll talk all about that and more. So if you can, give this video a thumbs up and comment what you guys thought on this past weekend in terms of the fights, what fight you like the most, who you're impressed by, and other stuff, etc. And also what your thoughts are for the main event this upcoming weekend, who you think is going to win and why. So, excuse me. So let's get started. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the prelims of UFC 316 real quick because I want to shout out Yoo Joo-Sang, Yoo Joo-Sang. This man got a knockout of the year contender. This is early prelims. This man, freaking 28-second knockout. Like the guy was rushing and he just goes back and just throws this, like throws like a left counter. He didn't really fully extend his arm. It didn't look like a powerful shot. It just looked like a little tap, but he hit the right spot and freaking knocked out Sergi and just knocked him out badly. He was face down flat immediately. This was impressive. Like, I'm not doing justice of how good and dominant this victory was for Jew for you for you Joe saying, man, that knockout, what, wow. Oh my, knockout of the year contenders. It's either this or Riso Rufi's knockout from against Bobby Green earlier in the year. Those are the two knockout of the year candidates. Man, if you have, even I'm pretty sure most of you watching this have seen it, but if you haven't, for some odd reason, please check it out because that is one of the best knockouts of the year. That is impressive. It reminded me of Anderson Silva when he knocked out Forrest Griffin, where if Griffin was charged at him, Silva just threw like a like that, like a little, like almost like he didn't really fully extend it, just do like a light punch. I mean, it wasn't light, but it looked like it, and Griffin got knocked out. Now, Grant Griffin took a lot of damage leading up to that. Freaking you just went out there and just for like that might have been. I think that was like the first punch or maybe the second punch he landed and just knocked out his opponent just like that in 28 seconds. This was impressive, and his nickname is Zombie Junior because he's a big Korean Zombie fan. He wants to, continue the legacy that Korean Zombie left. As obviously a lot of Korean fighters look up to Korean Zombie. So I want to mention him real quick because that was impressive. Very impressive. Yoo Joo-Sang, watch out for him. He's 9-0 now, so I'm definitely going to watch out for him in the featherweight division. Yoo Joo-Sang, impressive. Also, Joshua Vin, the main event of the prelims, got a knockout TKO of Bruno Silva late in the third round. He dominated Silva. This is the toughest fight, and he went out there and dropped him every round and just finished him. And just, man, Joshua Vin, this guy is just fights. This was a third fight in 6 months, and now he's about to fight again in the month because he's going to take on Brandon Royval, as Brandon Royval was supposed to fight Manel Cap, but Manel Cap pulled out, unfortunately. And so Joshua Van stepping in this to fight an international fight week, UFC 317 against Brandon Royval. And it's crazy because Joshua Van, we all know he's going to move up the rankings and fight guys up there, other guys ahead of him in the rankings. And he called out Brandon Moreno for UFC Noche, the Mexican fight independent for Mexico Independence Day, that card. But instead, he's getting a bigger fight against Brandon Royval. And if he beats Brandon Royval, he's probably gonna fight for the title next, regardless of who wins that title fight in the same card in UFC 317. It'd be hard to deny Joshua Van a title fight, even though he's so young and things like that. But if he beats Brandon Royval, number one guy, I mean, it'd be hard to deny this guy a title fight. It really would be, considering, especially if Pantoja wins, and Pantoja's already being a lot of these guys in the top 10. It'd be a fresh matchup, and it kind of makes sense. I mean, Joshua Van has a chance to do something special, and he's everyone's favorite fighter. I don't blame them. I like Joshua Van. This dude is elite, talented. This guy, man, Joshua Van. If he got impressive victory, and I can't wait to see him fight at the end of the month. Quick turnaround too, so I want to mention that real quick. Joshua Van. Anyway, main card, first fight. Kevin Holland submits Vincent Luque in the second round, Darce choke. Kevin Holland looked very great in this fight. He was just picking apart Luque. Luque has moments where he landed some good punches on Kevin Holland. Holland ate it well. Holland's got a very good chin. Very good chin. And Luque has moments, especially in the clinch, where he catch Holland, but Holland just kept tagging him, punching him, stunning him every chance. He uses his reach advantage to his advantage. Kevin Holland, that is, and he also was able to stuff a takedown because I forget it was the first round. I believe like within the first minute, first round, Luque got a grab of Holland's leg, and Holland just was able to stand up and not get taken down. Just throw a bunch of counter punches in the clinch like this to Luque's head. To the point Luque had to let go of the leg because Holland was able to sprawl and not get taken down, and Luque was not going to get that takedown at all. And Holland was able to hurt him and just do a lot. Won that first round. Second round, Luque, I believe, went for a takedown, if I remember, failed, and then Holland was able to reverse and get a Darce choke, which is crazy because Vincent Luque has a lot of victories via Darce choke, and now he Darce choked the guy who's great at Darce chokes, and gets a submission victory. As Kevin Holland's about to be ranked in the rankings. As a matter of fact, let me check real quick. Where's his ranking at? Um, he's he should be ranked in the top 15. He has back-to-back victories in the welterweight division. Kevin Holland. And Kevin Holland needs to stay at welterweight because this is his best weight class, unless he decides to put on muscle and go up 185. But if you don't put on muscle, stay at 185, stay at 170. Because he has a Kevin Holland has a definitely is a lot better at welterweight and has the ability to make some noise, especially if it looks like he's starting to take his career seriously. If he really takes it seriously, he can be a top contender. I truly believe that with Kevin Holland. It's just his mentality that bothers me with him. If he can just go out there and just focus on training and try to be the best and put everything, all his chips down, this guy can be top 5. I truly believe it with Kevin Holland. But yeah, Kevin Holland's ranked number 14, which was Luque's old rank before this fight. So yeah, good job, Kevin Holland. Great victory for him. Impressive. And Luque had his moments too, where he landed some good shots on Holland, but Holland ate it well and was able to beat up Luque. As I transition from that fight to the next fight, Mario Bautista beats Patchy Mix via unanimous decision. This was not a great debut for Patchy Mix. Patchy Mix, I like Patchy Mix, but man, where was the head movement? This man had no head movement at all. His head, it was stiff as like the table that's holding his laptop, like this table that you hear me knocking on. No head movement at all. His foot movement wasn't there. I wouldn't. The foot movement doesn't bother me as much if he had some head movement. And if he would have gone for the clinch earlier and gone for a takedown, he only went for one takedown. I believe it was like the beginning of the third round. I don't know what Patchy Mix was thinking. Why did he not go for a takedown when that's his strength? The grappling he has a huge advantage of. I understand Mario Batista. Some of his fights has clinch guys and his home against defense and won some fights there. Well, particularly the Otto fight, his last fight. But the thing is, you have the Patchy Mix is strong enough. Patchy Mix looked bigger than Batista a little bit, and he had the ability to get Batista off him and go for submissions to where Batista is less inclined to go out there and freaking clinch and go and home against clinch and home against defense like that. No, he has to worry about that. But Patchy Mix for some odd reason didn't trust his strength for grappling. Now, part of that may be because I do believe that part of it is because he only had 2 weeks to prepare. Because something that people are not talking enough about that I mentioned last week is that Patrick Mix only had 2 weeks to prepare for Mario Batista because Mario Batista was to fight Chio Vera. Then Chio pulled out. Patrick Mix stepped in, but and I think and I'm starting, now I'm talking about this fight. I'm starting to remember. Maybe that's why Patchy Mix didn't exactly go for a lot of takedowns and clinch work because he didn't want to tire himself out, which I understand to some degree, but at the same time, man, you gotta be active. You let Mario Batista hit throw a bunch of body shots at you. You didn't throw enough leg kicks like you should have. You didn't initiate. You didn't throw anything. Even in clinch work, you could have just gotten the clinch, do Muay Thai knees and elbows, and then break the clinch. Like he could have done that while exerting while exerting too much energy. And yeah, he didn't do that. Very disappointed by Patchy Mix. Now, I do believe Patchy Mix will bounce back and be a contender in this division because he is that good and he's got good victories, despite what some people are saying who didn't watch him fight, who this was the only fight they saw him this fight, which was a bad debut, terrible debut for him, awful, awful. But he's still good. He just needs to hopefully have a full training camp and actually go for submissions and go and do clinch work because he's strong. He's got a great grappling game. He's got 13 submissions. That's his strength, and that's what he needs to do. He didn't do it here. Bad performance by Patchy Mix and good performance from Mario Bautista. I do want to say that Mario Bautista proved that he was the better striker of the two, better kickboxer because it was a kickboxing fight, and Mario Bautista won that fight easily. He landed a lot of good punches to Patchy Mix, especially to Patchy Mix's like right side of his face, to where he got cut and Patchy Mix's right eye was bothering him because of punches he landed, and also a lot of good body shots early in the fight, early in round one, which I think play a huge factor, especially those body shots. And Dominic Cruz, they show his tweet where he said like Patchy Mix is probably not level changing, also because he got hit in the body so much that kind of hurts for him to do it, and which now I think about, that probably does make sense, and the reason why Patchy probably didn't go for clinch earlier because of that. But my thing is Patchy Mix should have gone for clinches, should have done more takedowns before the third round. After a few body shots, he should have just tried it anyway, so that way Batista doesn't land a few more. But he didn't do it, and Batista was able to land like a lot more body shots in the first round, and that played a factor in Mario Bautista. And give credit to Mario Bautista, like I said, good body shots, good punching, good striking, especially to the head. Helps that Patchy Mix didn't have head movement, and also solid leg kicks at times. And this was a good performance by Mario Bautista. He won. He made a kickboxing fight and he won the exchange there. Great performance for him. I know Patrick Mix had a good third round where he started landing on Mario Bautista and like stunning him a few times. And I know at one point he did land a head kick on Mario Bautista that the kick if Patchy Mix's leg was like closer or would throw a little earlier, it would probably like Batista, like it landed on Batista the kick, but had like Patchy Mix maybe like been a little closer or would throw it earlier, it really could have done damage to Mario Batista. But Batista ate it well. There was that moment, and Patchy Mix, he had a bad debut. He had some moments where he was all right, some decent moments, but still not the best debut. Third round he started actually being more active and actually landing shots on Mario Batista, taking it to him, stunned him a few times. Not many, but like twice he did. But still, Batista was able to land shots back and not take too much damage. It's just Patchy Mix should have been more active, but I don't. Maybe the short notice thing did play a part, considering he only had 2 weeks to prepare. Wouldn't surprise me, but still, it's like should have not taken the fight out of the case. But it is what it is. Good performance by Mario Batista. As I transition from that fight to the next fight in the middleweight division, Joe Pyfer beats Calvin Gastelum 29-27. And I'm in like 2 of the judges' scorecards, I believe. I think one of them might get 30-27 or 29 or like or like 29-28 to him, because I thought Calvin won round 3 just because Kelvin was the busier fighter and landed more. But Joe Pyfer deserved to win because that round 1 was a 10-8. He dropped Calvin Gastelum twice, and it's not often you see Calvin Gastelum get dropped in fights like Israel Adesanya did. But him and Israel went to war before Calvin got dropped, and I'm trying to remember any other fight he got dropped. I don't recall, but Pyfer early on looked good, was throwing punches, landing good shots, and on Calvin Gastelum, landing lots of the head. Calvin's got a great chin, obviously, and even though he got dropped twice, he was never truly like danger like other guys are if they get dropped twice. But the thing with Pyfer that is like the thing with Pyfer is that he slowed down as the fight kept going. Like the first round and early in the second round, he had a lot of, energy, but then he slowed down. That's the thing that always concerns me with Pyfer. Why I'm not totally high on him is that I feel like he's just a power puncher that he relies too much on his punches, on his power. Yeah, he's got some technique, but not enough to where you're like, okay, he can handle his own against tougher competition. And Calvin Gastelum's a good fighter, but this is not the same Calvin from like 2019 or prior, where he was actually a legit contender in the middleweight division and welterweight division. Calvin should be at welterweight because he's small for middleweight, but the guy, for some odd reason, can't make weight, which makes no sense. But that's, plenty of people have talked about Calvin and his weight issues. It just makes no sense with Calvin. But anyway, Joe Pyfer. Yeah, Pyfer is like, he relies too much on his power. And it's like, the problem is when you can't knock guys out, hurt them badly, and the fight keeps going, eventually that's not gonna help you, especially if you can't set up your shots or you can't do other things like kicks or takedowns, etc. And I don't. And Pyfer really didn't show a lot here. He really didn't. And to me, this is a performance. Well, yeah, it's a good performance, but it's like I feel like Joe Pyfer will get destroyed in the top 10. I mention this because Joe Pyfer came for the Contender Series, so he got a lot of hype. Be like Joe Pyfer, as Dana White said. They got people talking about him, and he's a guy who's had some good performances in UFC, but against Jack Hermanson, he got basically what a lot of people say fraud checked. To me, you got some weaknesses were exposed, especially cardio and like other techniques, as Hermanson is able to use his experience to win that fight in 5 rounds. And here, it's like this performance, he had good round one and an okay round two, but it's like I feel like Pyfer he could maybe beat some guys in the top 15 because he's right near the top 15. But top 10, I just don't. Unless Pyfer changes, I just can't see this man do anything in the top 10. I really can't. That's just my opinion. But we'll see if Pyfer improves. Hopefully, you would think after that Hermanson performance he would, but I just haven't seen it yet. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he does get better and improves me wrong. But yeah, it's good performance by Pyfer. Kelvin, man, he's just not the same. A lot of damage in middleweight. He really should be a welterweight, but he can't make weight for some odd reason. It makes no sense, but it is what it is. As I transition to the co-main event, Kayla Harrison submits Julianna Pena via Kimura to win the women's bantamweight title. This was not shocking. I mean, we all knew this was gonna happen. Julia Pena ain't that good. Like, I don't understand her. Like, her striking, I don't understand how Julia Pena for years has been able to be in the UFC. I guess she doesn't fight often, but still, with that awful, awful beginner ass striking that looks so horrible. It's like, oh my gosh, how do you be train MMA for over a decade? She's been in the UFC since 2013. How? And you freaking have that piss poor striking. I'm not expecting her to be, Zhang Wei Li or Valentina Shevchenko or even Natalia Silva in terms of striking. I'm not expecting her to be them, but I expect her to be decent striking. Look like she's actually throwing a punch. But fuck, that just looks terrible. Kayla Harrison just dominated her. Did what she wanted. Took her down at will. Just did every. Kayla was stronger, bigger. We knew she was better, more athletic, and Kayla just was just better in all way, shape, and form. Everyone knew it. Julia Pena ain't all that. Like the fact she even got a title fight in October made no sense. She arguably lost to Raquel Pennington. Julia Pena ain't that good. She stinks. She's got okay grappling, but that's about it. She fucking sucks. This woman, man, I don't get how her elementary school looking ass striking. I don't get how she's in the free. I don't understand Julia Pena. Her career, it's just so bad. It's the worst striking I've ever seen. And Kayla Harrison give credit because she had that Kimura she did. It looked freaking tight. Like she had. I thought she was not gonna get submission because of the way they were near the fence, but she somehow managed to get like a Kimura and like use her power to like freaking bend her out bend her shoulders and get on to where Pena had a tap. Because I was like, oh shit, because it looked like her arm was going back. Pena is like, oh, Pena needs to tap because she don't, she's gonna get hurt badly. And thankfully for she tapped, and yeah, good victory for Kayla Harrison. We all expected her to be the women's bantamweight champion, and she did. And now we got a super fight between her and Amanda Nunes, which I am kind of looking forward to because I think there's challenges for both girls. Like how Amanda do against a strong woman like her who's got a judoka background, who's stronger than Ronda Rousey and did better than Ronda Rousey in judo versus Kayla going against Amanda Nunes, who's greatest women's fighter ever. He's got dynamite, who's got good striking, compared to Julian Pena, of course, and got power in his hands. And also, these two used to be former teammates at American Top Team, so there's also that factor. See how that goes, and looks like they're gonna. I am looking forward to that fight. That should be interesting. Bring life in that division because that division's dead outside Kayla Harrison. So you got that. Also, another thing I want to mention: Daniel Cormier in the broadcast said something. One of the most stupidest statements I've ever heard. Like it's top 10 dumbest statements commentators made in UFC history. Like people give Dominic Cruz shit for the commentating during the Habib Connor fight, where he's saying where he was saying like Connor is letting Habib tire himself out as Habib was ground pounding him in the second round. People talk about that, but this was worse. He said that Julian Pena has power in her hands, is known for bombs, and that during the second main fight, Amanda Nunes was carried out a stretcher because of the punches she drew. He said something the gist of that. It's like I'm trying to remember now. What was it? It was Julia Pena has power in her hands, and that you know in the second Amanda fight, Amanda be carried out a stretcher. Try to make it seem like Julianna's punches were so devastating. Amanda needed to be carried out. It's like no, Amanda Nunes, if she did, it was probably because of the ass whooping she gave Pena, because she might have torn a ligament, or maybe like because in that second fight she destroyed Pena. And if she needed crutches or get carried out, it's probably because she probably tore something, a pre-existing injury, and maybe she drew a kick and it got worse. That's what it was. Or maybe she drew a punch and something and like it caused an injury be more exemplified or more intense compared to previously. She dominated fucking Pena in that rematch. That Cormier I know Horse Beef MMA. He's UFC 316. He actually played the actual audio of what Cormier said. And maybe if I find out, I'll just type it out in the comment section, because it is one of the stupidest, dumbest things I've ever heard commentate ever. It is just retarded. Dumb. Like seriously, Cormier. And then Rogan said something dumb too. I'll talk about it now for talking about the main event with Merab and O'Malley rematch. He said he called Umar one of the all-time greats or one of the best ever. When talking about Merab, how Merab was able to take Umar down, break him, and like, oh, he took Umar down. He's one of the best ever. Something like that. I'm like, Umar being one of the best ever? Why? Because he was undefeated and he has one ranked victory. One. It's Corey Sandhagen. How the fuck is he one of the best ever? I don't care he's Habib's cousin. He's not the best ever. Stop it. That is so stupid and retarded. Stop it. That I'm it's like I know Horse Beef MMA once again play the full audio and maybe I'll type it out, because this is just some of the stupidest stuff I've ever heard. Just dumb, and it needs to be called out. So I'll call it out. I'm glad other people are, but those two things is just wow, dumb, dumb, dumb. Like I wish Dana White were ripping to them, but he's not. He's busy off doing stupid things and just covering up for John Jones and just being an idiot. Dana White deserves, and that's another story for another day. Anyway, Merab Dvalishvili versus Sean O'Malley 2. O'Malley did not deserve the rematch. O'Malley looked decent in this fight. Like, he looked better prepared. Like, he actually stuffed some takedowns. And in round one, before, like, in the first half of round one, he actually was winning. He was actually avoiding getting taken down. He was actually using footwork to get out of the way. He landed some decent strikes. But Merab also landing some good shots on O'Malley too. Rob has decent striking. He was able to land some, and he took and he was able to get the hold of O'Malley and take him down a few times, especially in round two, but also second round one as well. He did grab a hold of O'Malley. He was able to take him down. O'Malley got up. O'Malley did a good job defending some takedowns and getting out of some clinching takedown exchanges, but still, Merab was in control of this fight. It was his pace. Even when O'Malley will land, Merab would just press forward. He will land some decent shots of his own, go for takedowns, get some, and he did. And he was doing well. Like, this was a typical Merab fight. The fight kept going on. It just kept going toward Merab's way. Like, O'Malley had no answers. As good as he looked more improved compared to the first fight. He still didn't have any answers. Merab just took him down, did well in the striking as well. The third round, he literally picked O'Malley up, picked him up. I think he walked like a step or two and then dropped him. Like, that's when I knew, oh yeah, O'Malley's fucked. He just picked him up. Like, remember he picked up Cejudo? He just carried him and dropped him. It's like, if he can get to Henry Cejudo, Olympic gold medalist in wrestling, he could definitely do that O'Malley. And just picked O'Malley up and dropped him. It's like, oh, it's the beginning and the end. Then Merab was able to O'Malley was trying to escape and trying to, like, wait for the right time, because he didn't want to get exposed, his neck exposed, and probably get taken down again, or maybe get put in submission. O'Malley was trying to escape. It looked like he was about to escape, but Merab was able to reverse position and get into like a Darce choke, I think it was Darce or Anaconda. I'm pretty sure it was a Darce choke. And like O'Malley was trying to escape, but he couldn't. He had a tap, and Merab just went out there and just dominated O'Malley. Despite O'Malley's, like I said, having good moments in this fight, overall Merab like won like 80% of this fight and dominated his fight. As he defends his belt again, he has 2 title defenses within less than a year. Unlike John Jones and other guys, but John Jones particularly. But still, and now he wants to fight again this year. I appreciate Merab trying to be active and actually being Because there was one point when Rob wasn't too active because he was kind of like holding himself back because Aljamain was champion. Aljamain Sterling being Rob's best friend, main training partner. He was kind of delaying his own career, which was kind of frustrating to see. But ever since O'Malley beat Aljamain, Merab's been more active, fighting, and he's proven why he's the best bantamweight in the world. Maybe the best bantamweight of all time, which definitely makes sense. I can understand why people think that. Dominic Cruz is one of my favorite fighters of all time. I get why Merab's considered the best bantamweight. He's on a 13 fight win streak. He's beaten Moraes after surviving that onslaught in the first round against Moraes. He beat Aldo. Terrible fight, but still he did beat him. And he beat Pierre Yan, take a bunch of takedowns. He just took him down, kept taking him down, spamming takedowns. It was just insane. Beat Cejudo, beat O'Malley. Yeah, I mean O'Malley's a good fighter, but still, I don't rank him high compared to those other guys. He beat, he beat Umar after, basically took Umar down, Dagestani, Nurmagomedov down, and just broke him and just used his pressure and cardio to basically break Umar, as Umar couldn't handle the pressure like a lot of guys, and then just beat O'Malley again. So Merab is definitely on a legendary streak right now. He's put on some impressive victories. And he wants to fight again this year, which I'm all for it. Him and Corey Sangan, why not? Sangan was on a win streak before the Umar loss, and then he's bounced back and got a victory against Figueiredo. Why not? I like that fight. These two haven't fought before. It's something different. Why not? Let's go. It should be Pure Yan, but Yan's going to be fighting Marcus McGee. If Yan wins on a 3-fight win streak, you do Yan and Merab next. The rematch. I think Merab is going to beat Sanhagen personally. But yeah, good perform. Yeah, Merab, great performance, making a name for himself. And to me, he should be top 3 pound for pound fighters. He's top 3, right? Easily, maybe number 2. I mean, him and Pantoja. See, you know what? John's not pound for pound number 1. Well, no, Islam's pound for pound number 1. Actually, no, I think John's pound for pound number 1. If my memory serves me correctly. Let me check real quick. Give me one moment. Let me check the UFC pound for pound. Okay, Islam's number 1. Merab's number 2. Oh, Merab's number 2 now. Okay, and John Jones number 3. Okay, I see. Man, they be disrespecting Pantoja. He's number. Let me hang on. It's like trying to see what my dog. Oh, he's just scratching himself. Okay, never mind. Dog's want to leave, but the disrespect towards Pantoja frustrates the living shit out of me. That's another story for another day. But maybe when I get to 317, I talk about Pantoja. But Pantoja should be ranked top 3. He may be top 3 with Islam, Merab, and freaking it should be Islam, Merab, and Pantoja in the top 3. Jones, sorry, you gotta be active to be pound for pound currently pound for pound. John's legacy is better than all these guys, but still. But yeah, Merab is just pound for pound elite, one of the best fighters currently in the world, and I just don't see anyone beating him yet. If Umar couldn't beat him, I don't know who else. Maybe Jan, but even then, I don't think Jan could. Well, we'll see who beats Merab. A great performance by him. O'Malley, good performance. He's in a tough. This is why they should have not booked the rematch for O'Malley, because now O'Malley's fucked. He lost to Merab twice. He's champion. O'Malley can't get a rematch unless O'Malley's gonna have to go up to 145. I think he should anyway, because I think he's too tall and big for that weight class. Personally, I think he would do well 145, and I think he could be a legit contender and be a champion 145 or fight for about 145. I think that's where he should be. I don't know if he does that, but we'll see what's next for O'Malley as well. I think because 135, he's gonna have to win like several fights in a row before getting a crack on Rob again. Considering this fight he lost was so dominant, it was a dominant loss for O'Malley compared to the first fight. Merab clearly won. I don't know why people thought O'Malley won. That's just stupid. But yeah, congratulations to Merab. Anyway, I want to transition to him from this past weekend to this upcoming weekend. It was a solid card. Good card overall. It was a good card to watch for the most part. My dog wants to leave my room. Give me one moment. Anyway, transition from this past weekend to this upcoming weekend. UFC Fight Night in Atlanta, Georgia. Got a great main event. An okay card for the most part. Alonzo Menifield taking on Omar Sy, who's 11-0. Menifield's ranked 15 in the light heavyweight division. Rather. I think Omar Sy might win that fight and be top 15. Personally, against Menifield. Menifield's a little chinny at times. It's a little chinny. So I can see Menifield getting called me to finish. Mansour Abdul Malik against Cody Brundage. Mansour should win if he's legit against Cody Brundage. He should win. I got Mansour. Cody Garbrandt is Honey Barcelos. that's a pick 'em fight. Part of me wants to pick Honey, but at the same time, Cody Garbrandt is not Payne Talbot. Honey's old, but same time, Cody Garbrandt is not the same guy. Garbrandt's seen a lot of damage, and I don't think he was ever that good as people make him out to be. He was solid, but I don't. But I know he beat Cruz and won the belt, but I just think portraying a team alpha male for so long and Cruz beating up all the alpha male guys in training camps for him, eventually they were able to figure out how to beat Cruz after so many tries. I think that's what it was. But Cody Garbrandt's solid fighter. Like I said, he lost to Davidson Figueiredo, so that's his last fight. Which is Figueiredo is a pretty great fighter. I get Barcelos is not as good as Figueiredo, but I just don't know Cody Garbrandt. You know what? I'm picking Cody to win just because Cody Garbrandt was doing all right against Figueiredo before Figueiredo took him down, submitted him. I just don't see Barcelos being able to have the same success as Figueiredo. And plus, Cody Garbrandt is not Payne Talbot. He's not. He has more experience and might be slightly better at this moment than Payne Talbot was. So yeah, I'm picking Cody to win that fight, but I could be totally wrong. Edmund Shabazian is taking on Andre Petroski. I think Edmund should win, but the problem with Edmund is, it seems like after the first round, he's just not the same fighter. He's like a first round fighter. It seems like I need to come out with victory, and Andre Petroski's on a win streak. So I'm picking Edmund Shabazian to win, but I could totally be totally wrong and see Petroski not beating him. But I'm picking Edmund. I could be totally wrong about that, but that's just my gut. Rose Namajunas against Marina Maverick. Rose Namajunas should win this fight. And Rose Namajunas lost to Aaron Blanchfield. Now that was Blanchfield's a good fighter, not the worst loss to have, but Rose Namajunas lost because she kind of like took her foot off the gas after round two, just let Aaron Blanchfield beat her. That's really was her. That was the thing that cost her that Aaron Blanchfield fight. She just took her foot off the gas and just let Blanchfield beat her. Mary Maverick's on a win streak, but at the same time, I thought Mary Maverick was gonna be really good. But the more I watch her, the more I realize she's all right, but she's not exactly like elite. Like Blanchfield dominated her, and I think Blanchfield has the grappling stuff. Mary Maverick's is solid, but nothing special. I think Rose has fought better competition. She's more skilled. Now I understand Rose, her mentality sometimes isn't the best, but Rose proved that she can beat girls like Crazy Cortez and Mina Hebos, and Mary Maverick kind of reminds me like a slightly better version of those girls. Where could Miranda win? Yes, but still, I think Rose beats girls like that. And I can totally see Rose beating her because she has better striking too. I think and might be slightly more athletic, and I think she might use that to her advantage. Rose Namajunas has been fighting UFC for a while though, but she's only 32, so she's not totally old. 32 is still young, so I think Rose is going to beat her by decision. Plus, I believe it's a 3 round fight too, not a 5 rounder. So Rose might be able to, win the first 2 rounds and maybe take a round off and win that way. Not that she should, but it suits. But same, what happened against Aaron Blanchfield won't happen. It's less likely to happen against Miranda Maverick personally. So I got Rose Namajunas winning that fight. Now the main event: Kamaru Usman versus Joaquin Buckley. Good main event. I'm going with Joaquin Buckley. I know Joaquin Buckley's been more active. He's improving. Joaquin Buckley, is fast and it's gonna start. It's gonna start off the fight better and faster compared to Kamaru Usman, and I think it's gonna be trouble because Kamaru Usman's a guy who likes to use his physicality and like likes to put himself in like semi-dangerous positions, like clinch work and stuff to win fights. And he has a wrestling background. I just don't see Kamaru Usman be able to have so much success as Joaquin Buckley. Kamaru Usman, yes, is stronger than Kobe Covington and things like that, but I just don't think Kamaru Usman come off a long layoff, where he's had knee problems. It's going to be it's going to start off slow compared to Joaquin Buckley, who's been more active. It's going to be able to have much success getting takedowns with Joaquin Buckley. He really won't. Yeah, I don't think so. I think Joaquin's going to be able to pick him apart with striking and be able to. And one other thing is that Kamaru Usman doesn't throw kicks at all. He does not throw kicks, body kicks or head kicks. And Joaquin Buckley, guys who can be able to throw body kicks and head kicks do have success against Joaquin Buckley. Those are the guys who do. Even Kobe, when he fought Joaquin, he actually threw some head kicks that were good. That I think one of them landed on Joaquin. Joaquin Notch, that was good. And Kamaru Usman does not throw head kicks or body kicks. I don't think Kamaru Usman is going to start doing it now. I could be wrong, but I just don't see it. And I think if you're not going to throw kicks at Joaquin, you're not going to be able to do it do it in an efficient in a efficient way. I just don't think Kamaru Usman is gonna have a lot of things to do. He's gonna have a lot of ways to slow down Joaquin Buckley. Now, do I think Joaquin gets a finish? It's possible he can finish him like second or third round. I totally see it happening, but I'm gonna be safe and go decision. That's just I think Joaquin might win by decision, 40 like 49-46. Maybe Kamaru wins around, but I just don't think Kamaru's gonna start off fast enough to match Joaquin. Joaquin's gonna pick him apart in striking. He's got power in his hands and a much better striker than Kamaru Usman. And Joaquin throws kicks himself, so he's gonna give more ways, more things for Usman to worry about versus the other way. And even if Usman goes for the takedowns, Joaquin's probably expecting that. He's been trained for that. He's probably been defending it. And I don't think Kamaru Usman's gonna be able to have good enough entries to get takedowns on Joaquin Buckley. Now, if he's spamming them, which is something Kamaru Usman does not do, he does not spam takedowns like Colby Covington does. Colby Covington was able to spam takedowns, and that's why he's able to get Joaquin Buckley down twice and hold him down for at least 30 seconds each. Now, second time he held him down for like a minute and a half before Joaquin got up, but still, Kamaru Usman, if he's a guy who spam more takedowns like Colby Covington was, he might have better success. He might be able to take Joaquin down. Because one thing about Joaquin is that it took Joaquin a while to get to get up from Colby Covington, especially that second takedown. Took him a while, a lot longer than I expected. And Colby Covington is not as strong as Kamaru Usman, but and to me it's like, man, to me it let me know that if you can take Joaquin down and have good wrestling, good wrestling fundamentals, you can hold him down. That's told me. See, knowing that Kobe was able to do that, and Colby Covington, as the fight kept going, was starting to build momentum. But obviously, Kobe took a lot of damage as the cut happened. So, unfortunately for him, the fight can continue. But that's because of Joaquin Buckley, what he did. Joaquin Buckley did a good job in that fight with his striking, laying good shots on Colby Covington. That's more on Joaquin. So Joaquin's good. He ever since going to welterweight, he's been putting on some great victories. He's on a win streak, on a 5-6 fight win streak since going down to welterweight. And now he's his first main event. Well, second main event. He's taking on former champ too. And I think Joaquin's gonna win by decision or like maybe second during TKO. He might catch Usman and finish him. I could totally see that happening. And I'll be shocked if Joaquin lost this fight. I really would. I think Joaquin's too good. Joaquin's gonna put himself in position to fight a title eliminator fight next. Joaquin's good. Do I think he becomes champion? I don't think so, but Joaquin's good at the fight for the belt, and I think he's going to start faster, like I mentioned, catch Usman early. Usman doesn't spam takedowns or go for main takedowns like Kobe or other guys can, and it's not going to be. And there's more things Usman has to worry about versus Joaquin, and plus the layoff. The fact that he has that long layoff, and I just don't think Kamaru Usman's a guy who could take time off and be fine and keep and look the same like some guys are. So yeah, I got Joaquin Buckley win this fight. Anyway, let me know what guys think's gonna win this fight and why, and what you guys thought on UFC 360. Like to let me know. Appreciate the love support you guys give me. I'll see you next time and have a good day, good night, and like and also there's a baseball video coming out soon. I recorded a video. It might be recorded to see if I can make it shorter. If not, it is what it is. But it's something I did tease about on like my playback stream for the UFC 314 watch long. But anyway, that's just want to give you guys that real quick. Just let you guys know what's about what I plan on doing, and also what I was gonna mention. I might be doing a stream for UFC 317 because I did request that day off, and if I'm off, I'm gonna be doing a UFC 317 stream. More likely I am. So which I'm looking forward to. That's a great card. It's International Fight Week. So, yeah, just want to give you guys the update and have a good day, good night. See you next time. Stay safe and God bless. Peace.